playing a lot more. I did manage to get like one game from champ on venture,
Okay.
uh, and I think I was the highest rated like mainly Sig player last season in at least in Europe.
Wow. Okay.
I finished like mid GM2 something.
Okay.
So right now I'm like just trying to close in on champ this season,
Okay. Yeah,
which I
makes
think is
sense.
very doable with like the new matchmaking and stuff.
Right. Right. Obviously, last time we talked a lot about how what your main goals in Sig are about disrupting dive heroes. And to be honest, at this level of play, a lot of it's going to be micro based and mechanical because there's like playing Sig into a dive comp is going to be hellish if you can't hit your hyperspheres onto this person, or if you can't hit hyperspheres onto their soldier consistently and force their dive character.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how this pans out. But it's going to be pretty micro based because the macro's honestly not that complicated. But yeah, we'll see how it pans out, and yeah, okay.
First fight is really sloppy. I think my Wu Yang dies early, and
Mm,
I'm just droning around on points.
mm.
Like
I
other
mean,
than that, I think I played fine.
yeah, I mean, I'll actually ask you this: how do you feel about playing with Ruyan currently?
Honestly, I think Sig is quite strong to win. At least once you get like your minor perk with like with the shield regen, I think it's a really strong perk.
Mm, mm. Yeah, fair
Uh,
enough. Yeah. I think like I was literally last night I was busy working on my Ruyan video in Korea. The character isn't that. He's actually not that complicated. He's kind of like a Kiri replacement, especially in these comps here. Where you place the function like just a stat farm bot basically. I can move around
yeah.
and it's really hard to kill. He's not that complicated from what I've seen, but yeah. In theory, he should be good. Okay, sure, fine, sure, I'm crazy, fine.
My shields are really bad.
Yeah, so like my only thing here is that obviously like there's like a billion different angles you need to be marking, right? There's the Winston coming over
Yeah.
here, there's a soldier coming top right, there's the Honor coming here, and the Honor actually nades your Cassidy, and then the Cass potentially that could be a trigger for the Winston to drop down and kill your Cassidy. So it's a little bit sloppy with the shield as you kind of mentioned earlier, right?
Yeah.
I guess my how do I phrase it? What like how do I even phrase this question? How would you be able to push this high ground here effectively, or at least clear out like what's the job here on Sigma? I'll say that as a broad question.
Mm, I think by the time we like rotate, is we just waste too much time. So I think I just force cart and try to poke out soldier or Ana or anything really.
Right, my gut instinct is kind of telling me that like my greatest worry here is you're not going to be because this comp has little verticality. You're going to be unable to flush out this person or this person, and I guess like there's a few things you can do, right? So you can just play debate and then just hard force out their Winston by poking them out. You can do what you're doing right
Mhm.
now, basically, or you can let this guy force cart, and then you can go clear high grounds, and then spend this time clearing out soldier. You can clear out Winston very easily from this high ground, and of course, like the only sort of downside is that you can't really mark corner that well. I think what you're doing here is fine, especially in a ranked environment. Because in a team play environment, I would actually expect a flex CPS to force cart, and then you go high ground with the rest of your team.
Yeah.
But yeah, in ranked, I'm not gonna cry about it that much to be honest, because hell, maybe you can't necessarily rely on ranked teammates to push cart or whatever. But yeah, at least for the shield, of course, the nade's the big sort of worry, right? It's the big burst of aggression that's going to be the trigger for their dive. So
Yeah.
that'd be the first thing I'm thinking about. And then you can spend your rest of your attention based on Jaewoo or Kanobo, or the Winston, right? Like after the nade's
Yeah.
used.
Yeah. I think the soldier is Rioli style. Rioli style armor.
Right,
I think
right.
that's the strongest.
Yeah. The shots are fine. It's just that the nade is like, big scary. Very
Yeah.
short. Okay. Sure. So I find this interesting, right? So of course you're wooing dice here. I don't really think there's much you can do about this. I think this is just by the nature of the position you're playing, there's not really much else you can do here, which is why I sort of suggested like you need to be clearing high ground here and let
Yeah.
your team force cart because you can't like it's impossible to land shots into the soldier reliably. But there is an advantage of playing this position, right? What duel could you be influencing when you're on the low ground here?
Mm, I think I just shoot monkey and maybe bait the dive or like force him off that high ground.
Sure, like you could shoot monkey and force him off, right? what could your shots like
Ooh, Tracer.
exactly, right? So
If I
like
could Tracer, I can give Kevster an advantage.
exactly. So like this shield is good to block honor healing. You could even put it in Wu Yang. I don't really care. But this shield's fine. And then of course you can just literally shoot this person. And I literally the second I saw Jaewoo peek out like this, I was like, your PV. I was like, okay, like this is the time, right? Like this, I saw this as and like this is like extremely vital because this Winston can't really, or he's not going to be influencing the door that much. This person's not going to be doing it that much. This person is going to be doing it because you can actually see the little wave thing is currently on Jaewoo. So any shots onto Jaewoo right now are going to be way more impactful than shots onto like the Winston. So like
Yeah.
again, this is the key visual cue. It's like understanding that you can influence that duel very easily or very impactfully by hitting one or two hyperspheres. And at this level of play, you should have the mechanics to be able to hit at least one of those hyperspheres, get some splash damage off, something like that.
Yeah, or at very least like force blinks or maybe
Exactly, right?
recall.
Yeah. Just by the nature of you tossing shots towards Jaewoo's way. But yeah. There's slight missed opportunity there, and it's those key windows of time before they actually dive in that are really key to like sort of look for. Of course, here you know your Waiting dies before, so you're forced to get from space. You might end up dying here. Touch Yuzu.
Yeah, I do die.
Yeah.
But I think instead of like walking back out main, I just play the room where my
Yeah,
crew
go into the
was.
room. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
maybe there's a very good chance you can live that actually. Yeah. Okay. We'll see here. Okay. You won't get die again? Okay, that's kind of crazy. There's really not much you can do about that, to be honest. I guess again, in fact, if anything here, like that gives you time to again move around top right because your team's going to be resetting and soft engaging. But again, I don't really hate you going cart here. I guess it's a tough choice. Okay. Oh my, yeah, that's might have to speed this up a little bit. Okay. Door. Fine. I don't want to see how you use a shield beforehand actually, because it is very low. Okay. Yeah, so like that, what's the main issue with that shield there? Even though it's like a quick lance.
Mm, Well, I already don't have enough HP to like be peeking in the corner there.
Yeah,
And like
right? Like,
I'm not gonna be forced to use shield, and I don't really have anything except for shift
exactly.
to sustain myself.
I'm pretty sure I said to you last time about bad positioning will force bad cooldowns, but this is a small example of it. Where because you're having to push out an open space and touch cart, you force a shield. So like I'm not gonna like it's not a terrible shield because in fact you are pushing up with the shield here, but it's like you can't hold any space any longer. And considering again the rest of your team's respawning and you haven't even looked back once, this is slightly worrying. Yeah. Okay, that makes decent. And again, the big thing I'm worried about here. What should be the big thing you're worried about when you're pushing this corner?
Tracer and monkey dive.
Sure, yeah. That's actually yeah. For your hyperspheres, that should be your attention, right? Shooting these characters. What about for your shield?
Marking soldier or Wu Yang or Ana.
Yeah, right. So like this is like the nade is the again scary thing, and if you're
The
hyper focused on shooting Jaewoo, which is good by the way, you are landing shots, and this guy, you know, you landed a hypersphere here. That is important HP to land off. Like I'm scared that you're not gonna have enough shield to peek the corner, and then your team's gonna get naded and die. But we'll see. Sure. Fine. Really early nade by Diana. You just play slow. Shield's regenerated. Not a massive fan of that shield, but it's okay. Sure. Like this is all fine, right? Of course, the bottom layer of my thing is blocking it up. If I close it down, you can see again Jaewoo's fighting off Kevster. So like again, I appreciate the shots on the Winston, but of course they're going to be 10x more meaningful if it's on Jaewoo. And you can see right now how much Kevster would appreciate a little bit of help right now.
Yeah.
So yeah. Let me see the shields here again because the shields are like okay. Like the placement's what I'm really crying about, to be honest, rather than the actual like target you're trying to block off. I'm not sure if your Arnold was actually beforehand there. It might have been. Yeah, I guess that's okay. It's a bit awkward here because you know the angle of which you're coming from with the shield means that Arna can like sort of like you know get this little nook and cranny here. Exactly right. But yeah, I'm not gonna cry about it too much. The micro there really, to be honest. I'm really like the big fish is the Tracer. Again, we're seeing
Yeah.
once more. Okay. 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 Good awareness. Feels okay. Sure. Yeah, I mean, so far nothing that crazy. You're flicking out your shield, you're looking around a little bit, you're forcing cart in the meantime. But so far I'm fully okay with this. Nothing crazy. Sure. Yeah, if you're fast and trade up just stealing house. Alright, fine. Okay. Speed it up. No one cares about that Winston. Sure, and might get caught there in time. Will, nice. Okay, next punch should be a bit easier to deal with because of the one in the sideline. We'll see. Okay. Sure. Clear Kevster and Tracer. Not easy to do. Fine. Sure. Good shield. They're behind you, nice. Nice. Sure, block's good. I don't mind the rock. Sure. Yeah, I mean, so far so good, right? Again, you're looking around at the perfect time, seeing if anyone's coming behind you to zone them off as well, not just tunneling on the soldier. Yeah, really good so far. Your shield's been more than reasonable. Rock was reasonable. If I'm being extremely nitpicky, I'm saying, okay, maybe like bouncing off your hyperspheres here, maybe, to hit the soldier behind the cover. But like, barring that, I've really got nothing else to add. Again, so far, more than reasonable. And it looks like someone's pushing cart here. Yeah, you're wearing pushing cart, fine, whatever. Now you can actually get the V-push and actually punish their dive, so this is going to be fairly interesting. We'll see what happens there. Sure. Sure. Fine. Fine. Okay. Sure. Big eats. Nice eats. Sure. So like the micro that's correct from the grasp, right? I've got no real issue with that. I'm really want to watch the stop down and see where the Tracer goes, because again, I think there's it feels to me that at least there's going to be better targets to shoot than a nano boosted Winston and Bubble. This is fine. The honor, sure. And a big thing I often say with actually I say this with dive teams or dive tanks more than Sigma, but there's often going to be downtime in between your cooldowns that you can use to think about your next move. So on Doomfist, that's power blocking because you're not doing anything. And actually on Sigma, it's your grasp because you're not doing anything in your grasp. You're just shifting and eating cooldowns. So I feel like this sort of time here, where you've eaten nade, is the perfect time to think about who you should shoot. And of course, that target's most likely going to be Jaewoo. Or this person. That's fine as well, because they're very close to you, they're very accessible.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. Any target there is relatively fine. Actually, I think you also wasted your rock here a little bit into Jaewoo.
Yeah.
Go back here a
I
little
think I was
bit.
going for monkey, but like...
Yeah, he's just gonna leave it, right? Like, he's either gonna do some micro about dropping down and jumping back up, he's gonna do some micro there. Honestly, hiding here. But yeah, I think it's a little bit greedy from that. I would only use rock to, again, either confirm a kill close up, or again to zone a really important angle, like that soldier. Even if you miss the rock there, it's fine, because it means he's not peeking, which is really important because he's in visor. Either one of those are fine. Obviously here you can just avoid it very easily. Sure, you got like a tiny bit of damage on beforehand, which is okay. It's really after this grasp, it's like, who you go on afterwards. And I think this shield is good in terms of like blocking off any armor damage, but like, you do nothing to this guy, right? If you've got rock, then by all means, rock this person and then look around, right? I think that's okay. Even there, I think there's a fair argument to say, hell, I can rock a target around this corner and confirm a kill. So really, the main attention source should be coming from here. So I guess my question is, how come, or like, why don't you look behind you here to try and either confirm a kill or zone Tracer and honor a little bit more, who might be peeking around this corner?
I don't really think there's any reason to be looking like. I think he ends up dying, but like that's just luck that he doesn't use primal and then that he's not getting like proper DPS.
Right. I don't know why he doesn't necessarily, put primal here. Who knows? Maybe he wants to read it. Whatever the case may be, there's definitely bigger fish to fry in terms of who you could be shooting here.
Yeah.
So yeah, rocks okay, fine, cool. Maybe that stops him from hitting the primal. But yeah, you can see Jaewoo kills you. And to be honest, a quick flick around and like shooting 2 upper spheres and then forcing Jaewoo to blink around and maybe blink back, maybe force a recall if you hit both your shots. Something like that is really important. Or even just staring at Jaewoo will force him to fuck off basically. Because again, he can't afford to take any of your shots.
Yeah,
Okay.
I could potentially like just kill both of their supports there if I
Yeah, and you
just
can
turn
do
on
that as
them.
well, right? Because Arnold's very close to you. Sure. Okay. We'll see here with Flood. I'm be curious about this one.
I
Okay.
think I, I missed this one. I don't know.
Yeah, so like you can use flux like so. Normally I took again to give you the whole spot thing last time. I've kind of changed prevention to disruption. Because it's just a little bit more all encompassing about how you can force cart and that's disruption. Disrupting the dive in some kind of way. Obviously here I wouldn't suggest it because there's bigger fish to fry. Considering your kit is literally designed to mark out literally any of these characters here. But the thing about flux is that you can use it in any of those stages. You can use it to absorb a dive as you are kind of in right now, or you can use it to save it after you've lived the dive to punish the backline. So here, it's really difficult, probably, to hit a clean flux because this person with good micro can avoid it with primal. So it would only really do it if you know he hasn't got primal, and that's basically it, and he's committed a jump. Otherwise, I wouldn't bother because it's just way too hard to hit flux. Same thing into
Yeah,
like Nanoblade and Genjis in high level. Like they will just avoid your flux really easily. So
yeah,
yeah. Okay, sure, that did nothing. Good awareness, nice. Really good. Sure. Fine, keep walking. Sure. 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 So like this is all fine, right? Like this is all reasonable. My only thing is like I often actually I've said this to support players mostly, but about whether to clear Winston or to out rotate him. Now, of course, alone you can't really clear him. But I guess my main question here is like, what takes you so long to walk forward here?
I think I'm just greeting rock. Maybe I can force primer or something in my head, but like
Hmm. Hmm. Because like my thing here is like,
realistically, he just outplaced anyways.
right. Because like here to me it looks like, hey, like you've got all the space. We force Winston away. I scout their soldier really nicely. But this guy's doing fuck all. Let's be real, right? Like your backline's not here anymore.
Yeah,
Realistically, like of course these guys can out rotate them. They're fine. Like you guys can walk forward here, keep the shield for your backline, and then walk forward and punish their backline here. And if they jump you, then of course force primal, and then again you can think about fluxing afterwards, for example. But like here, that's my main qualm is if I zoom out and I draw a box here and look at how long you guys stay in this little box for, it's quite some time. So 411,
yeah.
and we'd be staying there for quite some time. Quite some time. Okay, oh, you dropped down. Okay, whoa.
Yeah, I don't know if I did that on purpose. I didn't
I
see
was not
that.
expecting that. I was just expecting you to just farm him from high ground.
I think I slipped. I think I slipped off the edge.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. We'll just. I don't know what to call that, to be honest. Because I'm just not expecting it. But yeah, minus the force the flux to get back to high grounds.
Right.
Okay.
I just did not see him.
Okay. Okay. I appreciate the attempted shots onto the Tracer here. Sure. 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 I want to see the opportunity cost. In other words, what could you have done if you were high grounds? Let's
Not drop.
yeah. Let's go back here. Okay. Okay, so you can keep pushing forward here in theory. Sure.
Yeah, I
Sure.
mean I could just push main.
Yeah, you could just hard push me in his own backline
Mm.
basically the entire time.
Yeah, then I also reach soldier if he wants to peek out onto
Yeah,
cart.
you could reach Soldier as well, right? I don't know how far Soldier goes because he shouldn't be a threat to your backline. Okay, the primal creates space and catches fine, I suppose. But yeah, you just got more. You just have more options here, essentially against their backline the entire time. Like you can poke from here, you can poke from here. You can maybe go behind and then still zone the soldier here because this guy's kind of feeding right now. You can do a whole bunch of things. Whereas here, your only option really is to force cart, look at Winston, and look at Tracer a little bit. It's essentially just front to back their entire front line. So it's the only really real option. So, been unfortunate. Okay, and that fight's gonna be lost, probably, or maybe not. Oh, this is Rock again. Was that reasonable? So, like, I appreciate the attempt from the Rock here, right? I think it's hard because cover is such an important factor, and positional commitment is what I often say with high noon and window. But I guess it applies to here too, in terms of like, is someone committed positionally such that I can hit this rock? So for example, when Soldier dropped up the high grounds, yeah, I don't mind if you were still on the high ground here, you could rock him and that's fine, right? But of course, Tracer's like can move around so quickly. It's like I'd rather you just shoot normally at Tracer. And if she's out in open space, then sure, you can toss the rock her way. But it's just so unlikely to hit it. It's like, you know, it's kind of meaningless. I would only keep it for Winston, really. Or again, if it's so like an Honors like really close to you, like we saw last fight, then that would have been fine too. But yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I want to slow this down a little bit because you're missing like a notable amount of shots onto Jaewoo.
Yeah.
And both of these are going really wide. So 1, 2, so an overflick there on your second shot, and it looks to me that's going to be the same case here. 1, 2. So yeah, a little bit more like you can see how like both shots there were an overcorrection. Your second shot was an overcorrection, and this shot here was an overcorrection of your last set of hyperspheres. So a little bit of tightening up the rule, and think of it like this, right? Even if you like you still like tighten the spread and you don't hit your shots, what's most likely going to happen is that this pass is going to blink away, most likely. Yeah. And that's again, you're still getting resources forced out. All Jaewoo's doing here is because the shots are so inaccurate, he knows he can just stand still and save his blinks anyways. So the timing of the spread is really important. In fact, I want to see this again beforehand, because you did have a little bit of jostling with Jaewoo around here. I want to see this the exact same thing.
This is absolutely like a big problem in my gameplay, I think.
It's like, imagine you could just not even hit these shots, but like force this guy out. It's kind of the big thing here. So I think that first shot there's reasonable. Second shot there's, I think that's okay. I don't mind that. Like it's overcorrecting. I don't mind that fully. This shot here. Okay. Okay, that's kind of unlucky. I'm not gonna lie. So first shot hit the palm tree. Second shot is okay. Yeah, I don't actually fully mind that, to be honest, right? I know there's not really any geometry you can really use to bounce off to hit the Tracer. Maybe if you're like really scared about being inaccurate and she's in open space, back up a little bit and then let the splash damage do the work. First shot that was kind of unlucky because, you know, unfortunate pine tree. But yeah, the second sort of jostling there with Jaewoo is really preventable because you could just tighten up your shots. But yeah. Okay. Alright, we'll speed this up. Okay. Okay. 4 point net right now. Good splash. Fine. Sure. Fine. I don't mind the shield there. Did it hit, hang on, did it hit your shield? Yeah. Oh, she's gonna round you. Okay, sure. I don't fully mind that. Like, again, it's not like there's a billion things to look around here, so I'm not gonna fully cry for you not marking out the nade. Shot down Jaewoo was important. Nice. Nice. Actually, really nice there. I think that hit the break point for the helix into Jaewoo, so quite nice. Okay. Fortunate. Sure. Oh, look at Soldier, look at Soldier, look at Soldier, not the Winston. So, like, Winston is fine, right? But, like, you can't damage this.
He's in bubble,
like,
yeah.
You can't, like, who cares, you know? And arguably, let's say he wasn't, right? Let's say he was, like, still, he didn't use bubble here at all, right? I'm still, like, this person is way more dangerous. Like, I'm way more scared of the Soldier than I am of a, you know, low HP Winston with no bubble, you know? Like, regardless of whether the bubble here, whether he uses it or not, right? I'm like, this person's fucking scary. So, like, again, this is just basic marking. I mean, why do you actually look at the Winston here for so long?
No reason at all. It just feels good to get hit markers.
Right. That's probably the dopamine thing. Which I'm actually, I'm kind of surprised at.
Yeah, also, one thing that, like, I'm not sure if people are aware of is that you actually regen shield health with a perk by shooting shields.
Oh, okay.
So if I shoot bubble, I can like farm shield off of it.
Okay. I guess that kind of makes sense, to be honest. I mean, obviously here you're basically, even if you were like 600 HP shield, you're still full HP shield basically, anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, but unfortunately, that's a preventable death.
Yeah.
Fortunately, you get a point anyway, so here it is. Fine. Sure. And yeah, shots are way tighter here, which are much nicer. I don't really care if Jaewoo gets a kill or not. I'm not expecting you to hit every shot in the game. That's unrealistic. But these shots here are really important to land. So that one there's nice. Tight spread. take your time, and then of course just literally blink to right like a 180 onto you basically. These shots were very easy to land, and that's right, not enough damage onto Jaewoo, probably forces him out even more. So, job done there. Sure. Flash on nice, nice. Stuff. Sure. Okay. The real question here is like, can we get an angle into Jaewoo beforehand? Because of course you can push cart here. I'm going to backline that right now. Your backline's baiting fairly easily, so it's not terrible right now. But any damage I can get once I get this Winston or this Jaewoo is going to be really important. So we'll see here beforehand. Okay. Cool. Jaewoo gets forced out. Bubble gets forced out. This is really important. Sure. Force jump. Maybe look for a flux. Okay. Yeah, I don't really mind that. Again, maybe you're scared of sleep dart or not, so I don't really mind that, right? But so far, it's been 6 minutes into this game and we haven't seen you flux yet. So yeah. I guess I'll ask you this basically. How come we're like, I'll ask you this, right? What's stopping you from fluxing this Winston, and how come you haven't used flux yet, basically?
I think I have a tendency to overestimate like the value of my flux instead of just either like securing a fight or like
right
opening up a fight with flux.
right.
I think I just need to be like way less what's it called? I don't remember the word, but like I just have to use it more often.
Yeah.
I just like hold on it for way too long because I overestimate how much it's worth.
Yeah, I feel like maybe, I don't know, maybe anticipation's the word, about like you're anticipating some massive dive that your flux could just like hold like 5 different people at once. And
no, not at all. I'm just like I don't remember the word, but I just hold it for way too long. I expect it to be like
and speaking of like, again, sort of like stopping dives to begin, like you guys as a team, you guys have done this fairly well. You force bubble, force jump, right? Like they've got 0 setup at all, really. Jaewoo even gave up the space at the right side as well. So like, if I zoom out here and I draw their damage in a line, it's literally in a line. There's no angle control here at all, really. Honor is the only thing that's stopping you, like being a little bit scared about that. But you can help play that with, again, in 10 different ways. By using cover, by shielding first and then fluxing afterwards. I don't really care how you do it, but honor should not be the big thing stopping you from being able to get a flux off here. And you can really, like, and heavily push them on their downtime. This guy, I can tell you right now, he does not want you to flux him at all. He wants to like chillax and get his cooldowns back so he's able to dive. So if you can stop that, that's really important. And this is again part of that disruption bit into dive. So we'll see what you do here as a result. Okay, sure. Again, there's no positional commitment here. You know, Jaewoo's not committed to this position, and neither is the Kiriko. So in fact, I would only be rocking this maybe if Winston had no bubble like this. Okay, again, back over here where you popped this bubble, you guys broke it as a team, and you guys forced him out, and then maybe you rocked him during the jump or something like that. Because then he's committed to either playing here in this little corner, or he's committed to jumping out and playing back over here. Rocking that would be okay. But here, less so. Okay. 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 Sure. That's a little bit better there. Because again, there's actual commitment from Winston, so that's fairly okay. My one thing here is, what should you be thinking about or doing before the flux?
Putting a shield up, maybe on like the soldier that's using visor.
Yeah, right. Like I think the shield. You can argue that the shield usage beforehand wasn't that ideal. Like maybe you just didn't shield like great damage here. So 600 shield, fine. Sure. Maybe could have taken it down there a little bit during the accretion there, and then I think the initial shield on Jaewoo was fine because you're aggressing onto him. I don't really mind that, right? But like, you could have taken it down after he blinks away. It's kind of the big thing here. So a little bit of shield micro there, but like I'm not gonna cry about it too much. My main thing is like, sure, I can shield this soldier, right? But like, I want attention on the soldier, right? I want to flux this person and forget this guy, shoot this guy, because this is the big scary man. That I need attention towards. So sure, disable the Winston, I don't really care. But like, considering that soldier's now 1 HP, if he gets to 1 HP, he was 1 HP eventually, right? But whatever the case may be, that's the important thing I'm looking for. We'll see what he does here. What you do here. Sure. Good shield. And he's behind cover. I'm a little bit iffy about the rock. Okay. unfortunate. Nade, I'm not going to cry about that. You got so much to think about. I'm not going to worry about the nade here too much. And frankly, Arna can't get a good angle for it anyways. So I don't really care about that nade hitting. Okay. Sure. Sure. Fine, this is all good disruption. Nice. Nice. Sure. Yeah, nice there, right? You kept the pressure on Winston during the entire dive. You hit some nice, like, little air shots onto Soldier. And he pushed out Jaewoo quite nicely. So I've got no real complaints towards the end of that fight. It's really the attention on Soldier beforehand. And again, that sort of almost dominoes effect. Where what you do pre-fight affects what you do in the actual fight itself. Based on your shield HP and your drama mindset. But that was relatively fine. I don't really care about the rest of that fight too. Because it was fairly reasonable. Okay. Well, let's see here. Okay, sure. Okay, nice. Sure. Sure. Nice. Fine. Fine. I will say, that wall by Hazard is, I'm not sure if it's directly meant to disrupt you. Generally, hazards in top level will wall themselves upwards. Like, again, they'll wall their feet. So just be a little bit wary of that, because you might end up rocking their feet and not the actual, hazard himself. The reason why they do this is because it helps them avoid sleep darts, CC, nades, and they can drop down and use the wall itself after they wall themselves up. So be a little bit wary of that. But that's just micro against hazard, nothing crazy. But yeah. Okay. Sure. Okay. Sure. Fine. That one's much better, right? He's committed 2 blinks and he's in open space. That one's reasonable. Fine. Sure. Some good micro there towards the end about onto Jaewoo. Okay, we'll see how defense pans out. Do you guys win this match?
Yeah, I think we do win.
Okay, interesting. Alright.
I do have a question for like playing into Has, because like they did nerf like or like fix the bug on how armor would stack with the block. So are you more incentivized to block after you've lost armor now, because it doesn't even stack, so you just block the same damage anyways?
It's a good question. To me, it always comes down to like when you're playing Hazard, regardless, or even a Marcher because the bug was fixed with him. It always comes down to like what aggression am I blocking. Like I'm not gonna save my block because I've got armor, and when there's like 3 different people looking at me, I'm still gonna block that. So like it's like sure there's probably some bits of micro you can use, like maybe when you're dueling someone as Hazard and you're 1v1ing someone, then sure, like you can let your armor do a little bit of the heavy lifting. But when you're like this, when there's excessive aggression that you're gonna need a block for, then yeah, absolutely block. I don't really care about the stacking or whatever bullshit. But yeah. Okay. We'll see here. Sure. Sure. I'm looking at that shield mainly is what I'm looking at, because like I'm scared that you're just gonna shield bullshit damage. Luckily you're flicking it really quickly, so you're saving it. But yeah. See Jaewoo to the right. Sure. Sure. Okay, rocking the bubble there when he's got thingy. Like if he's committing onto your kit, like again I've said this like a billion times already. It's probably gonna be one of the main things that come up at the ends. But like your rocks are very inconsistent. I've only seen like a 2-3 good rocks. Again, one onto Jaewoo at the end of the attack, and then a few throughout the second and first point. But like you really need to wait for positional commitment for them to actually again get a good rock off. This attention's fine though. Again, you know Jaewoo's like fucked off to the right side. He's not doing shit. So your attention can be here. That's all reasonable. Don't really mind that.
What do you mean by positional commitment, by the way?
Say that again, sorry?
What do you mean by positional commitment?
Yeah, right. So like, what that really means, that I normally use it is a term I use to describe how to get like good high noons and good windows. What it really means if someone's committed to playing out in a certain position. So for example, let's say this bubble broke, and let's say Soldier Arna's like playing swing out in the open here, swinging right out here, right? That is positional commitment, because her character cannot move. Of course, she's got literally zero mobility. She's therefore committed to swing out on open space. Whereas conversely, if she's playing cover, she's not committed to this position because she can just duck and cover and you'll miss the rock, whatever, right? So I think of it like a window in that kind of way, or again high noon, because if you're windowing from here, of course, like this person could just duck out the window, and it's completely useless. But of course, they're in open space, and that discussion changes. So yeah, that's all that really means by positional commitment. Of course, it changes based on character, right? So when you're playing into Winston, bubble's going to be the main thing you're thinking about. When you're playing into Tracer, blinked in open space are the things you're going to be thinking about predominantly. When you're playing into Soldier, again, he's got no burst mobility. He can't dash out from your, rock, whatever. So it's still going to be open space. Is the main thing to think about. So it's going to change based on the character you're playing against. But cover and open space are the big ones to think about when you're thinking about positional commitments. And of course, mobility cooldowns too. But yeah. Okay. Fine. So far so good. The Tucker priority's good. The shield's fine. No real complaints. Sure. Okay. Maybe I'm a little bit I'm gonna nitpick here a little bit. But this last flick of the shield here, when you're 414, it's kind of useless. I don't really get the point of this, right? It's either you shield out here and then you walk forward and you still chase Winston. That's good. Or you shield off these guys entirely, like the Ana and the Winston both, right? And then you look at these guys here to shoot them off from top right. So this shield here flicker to me is very pointless because you just stop your shield regenerating.
Yeah, I'm also full HP, so I can just use my HP as a resource.
Exactly. Yeah, right. You can use that as a bargaining chip basically for you to be able to push forward. Okay. Sure. Now look behind you a little bit, right? Because now it's been enough time that Jaewoo is probably doing stuff. So look behind her. Yeah, he's doing stuff, right? So maybe again, it's a bit of an awkward angle here, admittedly, but you could absolutely go behind and at least look for Jaewoo, or even look underneath Cart if Cart's coming underneath. Because again, any shots into him are going to be very important. And as you've kind of seen from that initial dive, if it's only the Winston, Ana, and Soldier, no one really cares. Ana, this guy's not going to do much. You can zone off Ana with your shield, and you can threaten Soldier with your hyperspheres. It's really when Tracer's involved, especially Jaewoo, is where things are going to get a little bit overwhelming. But yeah. Okay. Get back there a little bit. I doubt you could have prevented that from happening into a Soldier. Yeah, there's not much you could have done about that, to be honest. Okay. Sure. Again, I guess my thing here is are there bigger opportunities that are being costed here by you shooting the Winston so much? Again, this is a bit reminiscent of second point attack, where you're hard focusing the Winston. And don't get me wrong, it's very important to do, but their Soldier just killed your Soldier. There's also a Tracer behind you right now. So if I zoom out, like this for example, right? This is extremely important, or this is extremely important, I care about more so about shooting this person off potentially and getting good hyperspheres onto this person is the important thing. And the nice thing about this too, this person isn't looking at you. He wouldn't be looking at you at all. So he wouldn't be giving a shit about your movements. So it should be easier to hit hyperspheres when of course Jaewoo is not looking at you. So I guess my question here once more is, why do you care so much about Winston when you know, or you should know, that things more important are happening around you?
Sorry, my bad. I just got a call from my sister. What was that?
Yeah, basically, why are you so focused on Winston when you should know or be aware that there's more important things going on around you, like that Tracer or like that Soldier?
There isn't really a reason. I also see that Monkey has committed jump and he's already D-peaked from the entire fight, so I should just turn on my supports and maybe peel them.
Right, I think the main thing here is now again an absorption phase in that whole spot thing, right? Sure, Monkey's got no jump, right? He's fucked off. You can hear him do the leap sound plus animation thing. It's firstly, how dangerous is this Winston? Of course, not that dangerous, right? And also, can we commit and get the kill into this Winston? I don't necessarily think so because Ana should be here anyways, so she'll be pocketing the Winston regardless. So it's gonna be a bit hard to get the kill into the Winston anyways. And regardless, there's bigger opportunity costs coming at play. So I think again, second time or third time that we've seen, you kind of forget that, hey, Tracer's here, hey, Soldier's here, especially after he just kills your Soldier. I think that's kind of the go sign that tells you, you know what, maybe their DPS are a little bit important. Okay. As you do turn eventually. That rock there, I don't mind. That rock there's reasonable. It just hits the side of the shop, whatever, right? But if it's a little bit more to the left there, it could actually realistically hit Jaewoo. I don't mind that entirely because he's out in open space, no blinks, fully committing onto your Kiriko, and he's got no idea where you're coming from as well. So that rock there's reasonable, even if it misses. Okay. Of course, gonna have to back up here. Weird grasp. Well, honestly, your grasp has been pretty good so far this game, so I'm not gonna cry about it too much. Okay. Yeah, now you might need grasp. Okay, and then we get
I should have grasp.
Yeah. Okay. See here, I've got what's gone. Okay, speed it up a little bit. Okay. Sure, that one's fine as well. I don't mind that. I think you just overcomplicate it a little bit too much. How far do you flick it away from Jaewoo? Let's see. Okay. So of course, entirely open space here. Like, if you get a good rock onto him, you're gonna force a recall, or you're gonna force a blink. But you just like hard flick it away from him, right? I think this strafe kind of throws you off here because he's shifting to the right. But yeah, don't overcomplicate it. He's in open space. He's vulnerable.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Nice shots. Very fortunate on nade there. Okay.
I think here I know that he has pokes, and I try to flick it in case he like blinks, but
right.
go for it maybe twice.
Right. I think naturally, like, I mean, to be honest, the micro's gonna be fairly easy when all they're doing is coming from one single angle during their dive. So it's not gonna be that complicated, really. Again, I'm not gonna cry about you not eating nade too much because, to be honest, it does require a lot of mental energy when it comes to shooting a tracer. So of course, I'm not gonna cry at you and say, "Oh, should have blocked on a nade," whatever the case may be. I'm not gonna cry about that too much. But yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Sure. Fine. Pressure on. Sure. Blocking that's good. Nice. Sure. Fine. Sure. Fine. I'll just be poke Andy 247 here. Okay. And the real struggle for their comp really is like I don't know how exactly they're gonna try and get behind you because of this how the map's designed. I would assume what's Jaewoo right now? Come on, anything you're getting marked out by your own tracer. I don't really think there's much based on you can't influence this door sadly because you just can't see it going on. I can maybe see if you got like the little like levitation perk. Maybe you can go over the high ground a little bit, but barring that, there's not much else you can really do. The poking one's in here, that's fine.
It's also too early into the game to have major perk at this point. So.
Yeah. Okay, sure. Cancel with the shield. Again, like so far, like the damage you've blocked has been fairly trash damage. I think it's like fairly reasonable to say. A little bit again, not great in the shield there. But even now, again, like this Winston's like hard feeding basically. You get fairly lucky here because he hasn't got primal here. And you missed it anyway, so he just dropped off the high ground. Oh boy. Even okay, let's say you knew 100% he didn't have primal here. I still wouldn't flux this. Like, how this guy's not scary at all. Like, there's no follow up, right? Jaewoo's busy marking a tracer, and their Honor's dead, so there's no nade you need to block either. And you just saw like a second ago, no one is coming up these stairs, or no one's like coming up here anytime soon, you know? Because you're just poking out a second ago. So like, who cares about this Winston? He's not that scary. So I still wouldn't flux this, even if you hit the flux. I still don't think it's worth it.
Yep.
Okay, bit unfortunate. It might come back. That might come back to bite you in a later fight. Who knows? Okay. Sure. Back to Poke Simulator. No, again, you can't influence that chase at all, sadly. Sure. Fine. Oh no, that's fine. Box there is reasonable. Sure. Force a V, nice. Sure. Fine. The retraction. Can I hook this kind of just whatever? Yeah, so I'm not gonna say there's not too much else you can really do here because they're just taking like really wide angles away from you that are really hard for you to mark. Like this angle here from Soldier is really hard to mark, and of course Jaewoo is naturally hard to mark here too. So I don't there's really not too much else you can really do about this necessarily. I think what you can do is again try and threaten trades into backline, prevent backline from walking up, and try and hold as much space as you can. And of course, zone characters will be getting close to you. Okay, so we'll get back.
This is when I should have blocks.
Yeah. Because here, at the very least, right, you can force primal, even if you hit it onto Winston, you can at least force primal there. But yeah, you can force this.
Or at least live.
Or at least live, yeah, play to live. Okay, we'll see here. You should get hopefully another retouch here. Maybe not. Sure.
Do win this fight.
Rock's reasonable. Shield out, that's good. Fine. Good awareness. Zone. Oh, nade barely hits onto your tracer there. Sure. I don't fully like. Again, I think the little pole thing's like fucking this up because this is technically open space. Like it's making the micro a bit harder. I do want to see and slow down a little bit here. Go 0.5.
I can correct onto the sports, I think.
Yeah, I mean, why do you actually retract your shield here? Like, this one's fine. You can use Cart a little bit, right? Using Cart as cover. This one's good, right? I like the shield. Why do you retract it?
I think because I didn't see anyone, like, by the time I made my mind up to retract it.
Right.
But, like, I still know they're there, and if I have my shield up there, it allows my team to walk. So.
Yeah. I don't, from your perspective, I don't fully mind if it's, like, a thing you did here. Where, like, okay, I can put my shield up here temporarily, I can use this as cover, and then put it down to you know, make sure I'm able to walk safely and look around. And then, again, I can, like, use my shield here, use this as cover to get back into this little cover thing, so I'm not getting slept or I'm not getting naded, and then repeat this with my own shield. That could be fine if you want to be a little bit more efficient and a little bit more diligence. But especially here right now, of course, it would be quite nice to have a shield. I think you realize that by putting it back up immediately. Yeah, so this is fine. Rock there is reasonable. Sure, again, you overflick it if anything. I think the rock itself is reasonable because Visor is obviously a bit scary. I don't really mind that. Grasp is fine. Zoning's good. Sure. Marking that soldier continuously. Fine. Sure. Good. Fine, nice. Reasonable, fine. Rock, that's fine. Again, he's on space, so I don't really mind that. Sure. Good shield. Fine. I will say, one thing you're really good at is, like, you can compartmentalize different angles really well. So, like, even in top level play, like, I remember Shred was playing against one of my teams, like, a year ago, or 2 years ago, and he was really good at this too, like, switching between Soldier, Winston, backline, and then Arna coming out here too. So far, like, from a micro perspective, there's not really much else I can say. Like, you're looking in between your hyperspheres quite well, you're juggling different targets quite well, you're punching Winston, and again, you punch the Winston there fairly well, and if you see a target that you can't kill, you immediately switch and go back into the backline. So far, I think your ability to switch between angles is actually really nice. So I've got no real complaints so far. So that's good as well, again, another good example here. Fine. My only real complaints are maybe some questionable rocks, but Grasp has been great, Chill's been fine, Hyperspace have been fine too. No real complaints on mine on that. Okay. Sure. Got Soldier. Fine. Okay, sure, down there a little bit. Sure. Yeah, let it regen. Okay, that one's fine because again, you're punching rotate. That one's fine. But yeah, in general, not a fan of the shield management.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Sure. I don't quite know what their plan is with this rotation because, I mean, they can go high ground here, but you can zone them off quite nicely, so I don't quite know what their plan is. Sure.
Yeah, I do think, like, this angle playing from main, I feel like it only works when the cart is here, because I can use the cart as cover.
Right.
But is it still smarter to play the high ground?
The real question is, can you even get to high ground realistically or reasonably in time? In time. I think if you've got the perk, then you can just hop on cart and then fly over here and then fly over here and you'll be fine. But unfortunately, that's not the case yet. So I think, like, even then, I still, like, of course, even if high ground's better, which arguably, again, I think it definitely is, right? Because you can more easily prevent stuff like this from happening, and you're getting encircled, right? Which is, of course, not what you want. So yeah, I think high ground that's great for disrupting their dive, but, like, you just can't reach it, sadly. So that's your character. Of course, in time, you're close to that major perk right now, So again, you hopefully should be able to like reach it, and of course we've got Flux anyways. So yeah, we'll see what happens in this fight. I've got Soldier, Jaw on his one. Winston jumping away. I think Flux is more than reasonable here. Catch that Winston. Nice. Jaw, go cart. Nice. Yeah, so far I've been happy so far. Really good disruption against that dive. So no complaints. Jaw. Fine. Nice. Now you go fight the high grounds. Yes. There we go, nice. Okay. Of course you're not losing this fight though.
I guess playing this high ground, the only thing I really need to think about is if they out-rotate me and play left side.
Yeah. Again, it's why, like, again, if I was coaching this as a team, it's why, like, stuffing this choke really early is really important. Again, you've been decent at stuffing their DPS and that honor quite well already. But, like, again, you could very easily set Kevster with Wu Yang ult and push really hard here. But yes, rank, so I'm not gonna expect that. Okay. Fucking goes decent. Watching Soldier's decent. Sure. I want to zoom out here. What's your team playing? Because my thing here is like, you can punish this. It's kind of my thing here. And in fact, you ought to be punishing this. Because as you kind of mentioned, right? What you don't want happening is you getting in a circle and you're getting out-rotated. And there's 5 billion different angles coming around you. There's a soldier behind you, Tracer's behind you, Honor's down main and playing split from a Wu Yang, and Winston's on top of you too. That's what you don't want. So I think if anything's possible here, I think try and look to punish this rotate is really important. And hell, even Kevster's here too. I think that's kind of the trigger that tells you that you can punish this rotate here. Now of course, you might not be able to. They might, sleep you, they might sleep your Tracer, they might, of course, you might not be able to hard commit for this. But I think making it threatening, making it scary for their honor to rotate here is really important, because again, I don't want this person to come around here with an insane angle and dome and get a fat ass nade and kill 5 people at once. So we'll see what happens here. Pop down. Yeah, like this is like, like you can disrupt this very easily. Like this and this. And look at Kevster, like that's the thing that's important to me. So we'll see. We'll press play and we'll see how it pans out. But that's a big missed opportunity there that might bite you back this fight. We'll see.
We do end up losing this fight, I think.
Yeah. So right now their staging is like fairly okay. Like they're coming around you slowly. Soldiers, like I can see what the soldier's trying to do here. So sure, good rock on the Winston, admittedly. Sure. Nice kill. Sure. Winston kills your soldier. So like, at least from here, like you're doing a good job, like disrupting the Winston and then catching the honor. So like, I'll back up here to see the micro. Fine. Sure. Yeah, I think that's fine. Not much else to say really. We'll see here. Okay, this looks fine as well. You might get Yang ulted, but really good micro. Holy shit! I wasn't thinking you could do that. Honestly, I was thinking he would just jump past you, right? He would jump past you, then get the high ground there, because I don't know why front to backing use kind of meanings for him. But really good shield there. Nice. It's insane micro. Okay.
Appreciate that.
Like I literally, the only time I've ever seen someone outplay a Wu Yang ult is by Kiriko Suzu. So yeah, it's actually an insane micro.
Okay. I'm actually fairly consistent with it. I don't think it's that hard with shield.
I mean, maybe because Yang was just a very new character, so yeah, I just haven't seen it that much. And to be honest, I don't know why. Like, why just put it on your Tracer? And this is Jaewoo. Like, you'll kill someone.
Yeah, yeah. On Tracer or Venture or Reaper, funnily enough, it's really hard.
Yeah, I don't know why they're playing on their Winston, but it's good micro there nonetheless. Okay, we'll see here else, because I'm a bit unfortunate or a bit sad you don't keep high ground here initially. Maybe it's because you feel like you're a little bit too low here, so you might feel like it's safe to drop off the high ground here. But yeah, as you can see, I think Tracer's marking you right now. Soldier should be walking around, or he's actually taking a long way around here. So the fight now is actually fairly fine, because Soldier's doing nothing, no one's pushing carts. Jaewoo should be easy to force out. No, and they're back instead. Sure. Oh, the rocks, man. The rocks. They're killing me. Okay. That shield all my days. That shield might cost you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a sucky shield. Okay. He's locked onto you. Nice. Okay, saves it out in time. And that was also good micro as well, like getting very close to him so that his visor automatically locks into you and not the rest of your team. Okay. We'll see here. Okay. Is this the fight you lose? Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, I think so. They get a touch.
Yeah, Jaewoo comes around early. Rock Dead's like, whatever, you'll get it back in time. I would assume.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Fine. Fine. Sure. Okay. Sure. Change CC that Winston, fine.
Yeah.
Normally,
if I put shield up, he might not get enough.
yeah, I was
healing
just
to,
gonna say, like,
live.
I want that back end to be zoned off, and obviously shielding here is a little bit too awkward, so of course, like, shielding the Winston himself would have been a bit better. Because naturally,
Yeah.
I wouldn't, like, of course, I've talked about opportunity costs, about, like, you know, maybe it's not the best thing to do. With Chain CC, you could actually very easily kill the Winston here. So a shield there could have been very, very nice. Block the nade there, of course, and then block the Kiriko hitting too. So it's been unfortunate. Okay.
The timing is kind of hard as well.
Yeah, yeah.
If like he doesn't get if he gets slapped a little bit later, it would have been much easier to like shield it off.
Right. Because now, of course, you can't like do both at the same time, basically. But yeah. Okay. We'll see. I mean, honestly, it's a terrible dive by him, anyways. So I'm not gonna complain about it too much. Like they use Nano and Primal, and there's no one on your team has died yet. So like, it's a terrible dive still. It's fine. Sure. Nice. Good grasp. Sure. Fine. I say fine, right? But like, a little bit of patience with Anna will go a long way, because you can see this person, like, you can see bullets are coming her way anyways, and she's already really low. So it's gonna be more ideal to start use it on Soldier, or again anyone out here in open space really. You can maybe even like be a little bit tricky with this Winston. Maybe look at the Winston and then force him to stand still, and then he'll jump, and then you can pick the obviously flux the jump always where he's jumping to. But yeah. Okay. Look, that's reasonable. That eventually, yeah, but unfortunate. Okay. Of course, I think the key way of playing at that fight there is, of course, juggling up the high ground there and not fluxing Liana, and then fluxing cart itself, or just like playing high ground here and then going to cart there eventually. But of course, the rest of your team dies, so you're probably going to support them there regardless. Okay. We'll see here.
That was not the expected.
Speed it up. Okay. Okay. Okay, sure. Fine. Okay. Yeah, I don't know there's much you could have done about that Kiriko, to be honest. Sure. Fine. Rock's reasonable. Nice. Sure. This might be a bit of a roll here. Sure. Fine. Rock Tracer. Sure. Fine. Running Bastion now. God. We'll see here. Okay. Yeah, okay, I think you can hit the Tracer to the left, I think. Also, yeah, somewhere around here, yeah, for sure. I appreciate the awareness there. Fine. Sure. Fine. Sure. Fine. Again, I'd be looking around a little bit more around. It's a bit of nitpicky micro here. But because Tracer's underneath you, I'd be looking a little bit around, like, to see if she's coming behind up these stairs, or if she's coming behind to duel your Tracer, because again, any shots into Tracer become a lot more impactful, as I talked about prior. But barring that, this micro's fine. I have nothing crazy.
Yeah, so scouting Tracer in between spheres,
In between
right?
spheres, yeah. Okay, sure. Cross's okay. Fine. Nate's a little bit slow there. You see, the thing is, you see Anna here as well, right? Like, you see Anna back over here. Like, you know, you shoot her a little bit here eventually, right? You get it's like 50 or so damage, and you see her walk across the left side here. So then a little bit more when Anna's rotating to her as well. Of course, next time you'll probably know that with this map. It feels like, again, you feel very tunneled. Like, you really like shooting Winston. out of any targets. A little bit slower than the shield there, unfortunately. Rock's good though. And then they just C9
I think they
cart.
C9.
And then yeah, I didn't even realize they C9 that. Forcing a shot into honor, but I'm not gonna cry about that too much. We'll do a quick summary here. And yeah, I think by far the biggest thing is opportunity cost from Winston. Opportunity cost when shooting their tank. I'll just say tank in general. And it's good to do, like, that is the fundamental base layer of playing into dive is making sure that their Winston can't dive to begin with. But again, like, we've seen many times where Jaewoo or their Tracer could have just been forced out. We saw that on first point attack. We saw that here a little bit on, again, flicking, making sure you're doing it in between hyperspheres. Epic Pen. Okay, sure. And then again, honor as well on first point attack, and again third point defense here. In fairness, like I want you to get to a level to where ideally, like the peak sig form is to where you're able to shoot Tracer and also block off honor nade at the same time too, because it's really hard to sort of again mechanically shoot Tracer, especially someone as good as Jaewoo, and also block off and care where Honor's playing here as well. That's really, really, really hard to do, and it's something that I wouldn't even expect like really high level Sigma players to do anyways, because again, it's just so hard to compartmentalize. I wouldn't even expect their solo to be able to do that kind of thing. But I think the fundamental base layer, for at least for now, is not looking at Winston all the time. Or if you are looking at Winston, there should be like soft alarm bells going off in your head about people coming around you. And that kind of links into the second part here too, I want to say here as well, is disrupting rotations earlier. So what I mean by that is, in fact, this could be its own point, to be honest. But like second point defense, where like you've got a clear positional advantage. Kevster's in position, as you can see, and of course it's going to be tough for their Honor and their Wuyang to rotate. What I don't want happening is for you to wait for them to sort of take angles around you, and then of course you just rock the Winston and then you kill the Winston. I think that's more mistakes on the Winston's part than what you can do yourself. And I think whenever you can, stopping their rotation or pushing them on their downtime is really useful. Again, it's something that I took more with teams about because it's easy to do in teams, but Tracer was there with you. You could very easily punch that Honor and that Wuyang there early on that rotation and make it really hard for them to walk up. Second thing I'd say is, let me see, whatever the case may be. Second thing I say here is just micro against Tracer, and I can say Winston here too. I think Rock's gonna be the big thing here for sure.
Yeah.
Like many times again, do it for positional commitments. Or if there's like extremely high aggression, like very high aggression that you need to like shield off, that's fine too. What else is well? Oh yeah, a little bit of tightening up the spread against Jaewoo. Tightening up spread. And Winston Michael is fine. Again, you're shooting again when Winston's jumping you, so you were aware of their backline when Winston was jumping you, so I've got no complaint about that really. So I don't know, it's just maybe the rock stuff and again the making sure you're more reliable in terms of hitting your shots into Jaewoo, or forcing out at least some blinks, or making him play a position that he doesn't really want to play. Which again links back into the first point too, about making sure you're not tunneling onto Winston the entire time. And third thing, probably gonna be fluxes / shield. In fact, I'll put shield in like the last place too, because frankly your shield management also was not ideal all the time. Shield, both in terms of your placement, again some slightly dodgy placements in terms of, again, the Honor and the Soldier, and also the management of it too, in terms of how much you're using it early fights. I think there's an example on third point attack where you flicked it onto a Tracer or onto Jaewoo, which was fine, but you kept it up a little bit too long, and then when you flux the Winston, you had no shield to be able to shield off the visor. So that'll be an example of of that too. And third thing, I forgot what it was. Oh yeah, fluxes. Flux usage. Again, primal is gonna be the big thing you get to think about when you're doing it. Aggression or like, do you need it? Is the big thing I wanna sort of put forth here. For that example, the example there would be second point defense. You flux the Winston, but he was pointless. He was useless. He didn't do shit to you, or your team. He was alone. So you didn't really need it that much. I think there was some decent fluxes here or there. But yeah, keeping in mind a primal, the aggression in terms of, again, do you need it, and also again using it as a form of disruption here as well. Links back into the first point. Like if Winston's jumping out and they've got no space, you can keep pushing that, especially if your team's pushing with you as well. Of course, don't do it solo, but again, if you're able to do it, that's more than reasonable to do as well. Last thing to mention, I recommend. I know no one plays Sigma in pro play, but I would recommend like looking at the codes for OWCS for Korea right now, because people are playing dive a lot, of course. So looking at what you can do, when if of course D.Va's like the main tank that's been played against dive comps, but still kind of same idea about preventing Genji traces going in and seeing what you could flux if you had it, or things like that too. So that Basan code A3NY6J is a good one to go through as well. It's between Falcons and Crazy Raccoons, and there's a public spreadsheet of the codes too. But yeah, any questions or things?
I don't want to take up too much of your time because I see that I'm already like
It's fine.
7 minutes over.
Sure. I don't really mind that much. But yeah, go on.
There was like 3 players that want to make a team. Me, Jams, and Plim.
Right.
But we don't have supports. How do we like find that? How do we find support players?
Twitter is one of them. Hang on. As a Twitter account. Firefox. Okay. Hopefully my TL is not too degenerate. There's a Twitter account called Overwatch, like I forgot what it's called. LFT Owl. Or hang on, LFT or like LFT WCS, I think. If I just search it normally, because I follow the accounts. WCS, LFT. They normally add an account for this as well. I mean, this is technically one of them too. You could just type in LFT or WCS and then find people. I guess that's another way you could do it. But normally, like again, you could potentially do this. There's normally a Twitter account that they tag, or some players tag, that retweets LFTs a lot. So that's one way. There's also Discords as well. So I think maybe I gave them last time. I actually forgot.
Yeah, I think you gave the Discords.
Yeah,
I'll look more
Uscrim,
into that though.
Overwatch Esports, yeah, and then Get Good too. There's some Discords you can use as well. We'll see if there's let me check your mutual servers in Discord actually. To see what servers you're at. Mutual servers. Yeah, you're in get good already. And Uscrim. Look through those LFT channels, and then you could find supports too. And then also, have you got a manager on your team, or is it just you three?
It's just us 3. We've just been talking about it.
You three, okay. I guess you can also talk to players supports that are already on teams, and then ask if they know players that are LFT too. So that's another thing you could do as well. But you'll find players over time. Twitter's again one way you can do it, because everyone's on Twitter basically. Again, there's an account that's somewhere here. Where there was. But yeah. And maybe it's not LFT Owl. Maybe it's LFT like W2. Yes. Oh my god, there it is. This is the account. And then I think they still keep doing it. So they retweet LFTs so you can find players. So yeah, I would use that. So I think, yeah, Juno, yeah, LFO, face it, flex support, and face it masters EMEA. Someone you could ask. I know this person too. But yeah. Um, anything else?
Uh, yeah, one last thing. I really need to like expand my hero pool because right now I only play Reaper, Venture, and Sigma.
Right. Oh, interesting hero
Like,
pool. Um,
yeah, it's it's really bad.
I so like, it's a question like, what should you expand your hero pool to? Or like,
mm, I do think that like Venture right now is probably my strongest hero, but I think Tank is my strongest role. And I
right,
did play
right.
Ram, but they absolutely gutted the hero.
Right. I mean, I would honestly try and see what other stuff you can play other than Sigma. That feels natural to you. I wouldn't try not to make it fully dependent on meta. Because frankly, to be
Yeah,
honest, like meta does not matter, especially even at your level of play. Like it does not matter. Unless like you're like top 4, top 8 in OWCS, it really does not matter. I think like even for you, because even with bans and whatnot, like I wouldn't worry too much about hero pool. I would more so worry about, okay, what two comps are we really good at, or are we trying to play? Can I maybe play Hazard and try and like make a comp around that potentially? Because
yeah,
frankly, I've coached like one trick teams in the past, and it's more so about like how well you can play the comp rather than what you play. But of course, for bans, you probably need another tank in your hero pool.
yeah,
So that could be Hazard, or that could be Orisa. That's the ones that come most naturally to me at least. Hazard as well is very flexible in terms of how you can play the character, and also he's got similar jobs to Hazard anyway, also to Sigma anyways, in terms of what you're zoning off,
yeah.
and all the similar jobs too. So I'll try out Hazard and see how that pans out. Yeah, it's very micro heavy, so in fairness, you might get rolled if you play it on your main account. But yeah, at least give it a go.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything else?
You know, that's about it. I'll send you a message if there's anything that comes up.
Cool, yo, and I'll get this